Hello, YouTube and beyond. I know it's been a while since I posted a video on YouTube. Well, this is my new video. Today we're going to talk about change and how it's relative to how we live our lives today. Now, I know what you must be thinking. Why change? Is change ever good? In fact, the most common comment I've heard is that I don't want to go through changes. Well, he's Biology Fact 101. We all change. Puberty is a sign of change, especially for us males, but as well as for females as well. We all go through changes, both physical, emotional, and mental. Now, I'm not going to talk about physical in this video, more on the mental and emotional changes that we all face. One of the most emotional changes that we can all go through is death. Like me, for instance, one of the biggest changes in my life ever is witnessing my nephew dying. Now, yeah, that was extremely sad for me. Still is. However, in the night of 11 of his death, I'm making videos to remember him by, because he inspired me to do so. Change is inevitable. It is just who we are. Every day we go through changes, whether if we want to admit it or don't. Change is always around us. People perceive change to be a bad thing. In fact, change is a good thing. Like, imagine not hitting your growth spurt, or imagine not going through puberty. We all go through it. I did. You do. We all do. That is just a fact of change. But I can tell you this. Change ultimately leads to better lives. How do I know this? Well, like I just said, my nephew died. He's a benefit. Though tragic and sad, the benefit of that is that I'm making YouTube videos. Like, for instance, I've talked about eating healthier, or not going out to eat, or about 2012 and why that didn't really happen. Or like now, talking about changes. See, change is a constant flow, like a waterfall. You can't just expect a waterfall to fall and then not the next day. No, see, that doesn't really happen. Change is both controversial as well as it is metaphorical. That's what change is. Change is a metaphor of how we live our lives. How? Simple. Just look at yourself. There's nothing else to explain it. Like, okay, I hate to say this, but like when someone gets dumped, like I might have been dumped, I'm not too sure. But being dumped by either by a girl or by a boy is still considered to be a change in someone's life. Like if you've seen the Two Life on Deck, how Betty Pickett and Cody Martin ended up together, and then in Paris broke up. That was a change that they had to go through. Or for instance, divorce is a change. Why? Because when someone gets married for the better and then get divorced, that changes the person's perspective and how they see life. Why? Because they were single once, but now they're single and widowed. That's a change that they go through. Like another form of change would be, like, for instance, me changing my hairdo. See, in other videos you would see me bald. Right? This is a change, right? It's his hair. It's natural. There are ways to change your hair. Like, for instance, if people choose to go to a plastic surgeon, they have technologies that can actually cut through your hair follicles, leaving it permanent. But why am I talking about change? Because we all go through it every day. There's always change. That's that's the way life is. That's the way it goes. You cannot change. Yeah, I know that sounds confusing, but ultimately what I'm saying is change is not something that you can actually. Okay, I don't know how to describe that exactly, but I can tell you this: change is something. It's a process that we go through. Ultimately, that is just where life is. I've said this before in my other videos, and I'll say it again. If you don't believe in God, that's okay. No judgment. But let me give you a biblical sense of change. Like, for instance, in the Bible of, there's a section of the Bible called Job. Job was a person who went through significant amount of changes. Like, for instance, Job was the richest person on earth. And by happy coincidence, well, by coincidence, not so much happy, his wealth, his family, his life was flipped, all to test his loyalty to God. He didn't change. No, he didn't. But it still changes his possessions, what he had. That, like, your possessions and what you have will change you. If you don't change. But it still changes how you see it. Change is hard, I know. I do speak from personal experience when it comes to change. But still, change is change, right? Well, no. I can tell you this. Life happens. Shit happens. That's truth. There are a lot of biblical aspects of the Bible that talk about changes. I won't go through them, talk about them, because we not want a preacher. And I know this is not Sunday, it's Wednesday. So don't worry, I'm not a pastor. But I will tell you this. Even the simplest of things changes. Like, for instance, if your daughter wants to take off her training wheels, yeah, that's a change for her. There's a lot of things I can see about changes. Question is, do you want to go through change? And that's the $1,000,000 question. Speaking of Marion, here's a question. Have you ever wondered what your life would be like if you ever had $1,000,000? Now, see, not money, although material and doesn't last, changes a person. Why? Like someone like me, I never had $1 million in my life. But if I had $1 million, I know what I'd do. I would get my dreams, make it come true, and give back to charity. Why? Because that is where I was built. What can I say? Change is inevitable. Well, that's all I have to say about change. To the next video. Keep subscribe the views. Subscribe. Comment. Well, you too. Peace.